Welcome back to Amiibo Doctor. Check this out. That's right, Sephiroth Amiibo. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to explain this. This is using a modded version of 10.0, so that Sephiroth Amiibo AI is accessible. You can't get the bin file for this yet, and believe me, I've tried. This, I believe, is also a modded-in version of the Terry Amiibo. This footage is from before when we figured out how to make the Terry Amiibo bin file. So these are both modded versions of the AI, which is why this Terry doesn't play like normal ones do. Okay, so right off the bat, I want you to pay attention to something. We're not worried about Terry. We have a lot of Terry footage on this channel. Boom, there it is. 1 right there, right? So when he uses his side special, right, Terry dodges, only hits him with 1. Now, obviously, he only could have hit him with 1 in that instance, but you're going to see that a lot in this video, is that although he doesn't exclusively hit Terry with the 1 globe, whatever the hell you want to call it, he does only hit once. Now, if you look right there, he did fully charge it, right? But he didn't go all the way. So obviously, Sephiroth is very fully capable of juggling with his up air as well. Wait for the offstage. There it is, right there. Okay, did you catch this? So we're going to see a couple of at-ledge edge guarding options. But that down special is interesting to me because there's no way that he could have connected with that, right? So like when he used it, it looks like, so he puts in the button, right? It looks like that could connect. But then obviously Terry's falling. So it's an issue with Amiibo AI, right? Now, I should explain, this is a Sephiroth Amiibo trained by Jaws, if I remember correctly. And we'll get to the recovery in a second. So obviously this is not indicative of every Sephiroth Amiibo ever. You might be able to teach him to charge side special all the way. You might be able to teach him to do something else. This is just what I'm seeing from this footage right here. Okay, so as he's falling, he gets the 1 wing, right? As he's falling, he's realizing he can hit Terry from that distance. But he doesn't realize he has to charge it. So he falls all the way down, uses his last jump, and then uses the uncharged version, not Octoblade, whatever the uncharged version of Up Special is called, to get up, okay? There's that down special again, off the ledge. But then this time, now, if I'm seeing this correctly, was that Octoblade? Was that the fully charged one? I'm assuming it's called Octoblade. I don't know. I think it was. That's interesting that he didn't use the uncharged version. So one potential problem that I see with the Sephiroth Amiibo in the meta, and you can see this right here, okay? So Terry's winding up his attack, right? His back flip kick thing, whatever the hell. I don't know. What do you want to call it? You can call it whatever you want. Sephiroth is realizing, oh, he's in range of side special. So even as Terry's getting ready to kick him in the face, he's going to use a side special. He's going to add Terry, right? So like I could see this being an instance of Simon Belmont's forward smash, right? So the reason Simon Belmont Amiibo are optimal when they're not when they're not using forward smash all the time, instead they're using forward tilt, is because they'll wind up and then try to hit even at point blank, whereas forward tilt doesn't have that problem. It's much less startup lag, right? I could see Sephiroth having that problem, where he'll try to use side B on opponents that are close, as opposed to opponents that are like only far away. Because if they're close, it makes sense to use a different move, right? But the Amiibo doesn't really have that built in. It just knows, can I hit or can I not hit, right? So I could see, if a Sephiroth Amiibo is taught to spam side B, I could see scenarios in which that's suboptimal. Now, one thing I did find very interesting was that as he's falling, he's trying to use forward air. Now, it's not clear to me whether he's using forward air to try to get into the stage or whether he's trying to hit Terry with it. It's more of that side special again. I'm willing to bet Jaws trained this thing to do a lot of forward air. There you go. Okay, so that's actually what I was waiting for. So One of the things I've been afraid of with Sephiroth is that his recovery is also a multi-hit and can be a good attack. That could be great, and that could be horrible, right? So multi-hits are really, really good in Amiibo. Like they're the basis of several high-level characters, right? They're part of the basis of Ness. They're the basis of King Dedede. They're the basis of Piranha Plant, the Pits. There's a lot of characters that are high level that base off of multi-hits. Well, with Sephiroth's multi-hit up special is one of the best, in my opinion. At least it will be in Amiibo, because even if you shield it, okay, basically unparryable, it carries the opponent with them, right? So you're not going to use it like he did all the time, where it's just, you know, coming from above, right? But it's still going to be really good. So I could very, very easily see a scenario in which having a Sephiroth that just charges his up special all the way and then uses it across the stage, almost like Captain Falcon uses Falcon Kick, ends up being something close to optimal. Jaws has clearly taught this thing to use forward air for edge guarding. Okay, so there's something very interesting. So watch this. So he pops him twice. Rather than just charge it for a couple extra frames, he pops him twice on the thing. Like, that's really weird. So it indicates to me that there's probably a separate, like, system for how it's going to use side special, as opposed to, instead of asking, like, how many do I want, it's, can I hit him, right? Can I hit him? We'll just use the uncharged one. Can I hit him again? We'll use the uncharged one again. Whereas a human player in that case, if they realized that they wanted to put 2 globes on him, and they had the frame data to do that safely, they would just charge it, right? It's a very unusual behavior from an Amiibo. Okay, so this is what I was happy about. Watch this. So obviously, he's using neutral special, fully charged all the way, right? Gets him off stage. Now, I don't remember if this happened already and I just didn't point it out, but he did try to use neutral special when his opponent was off stage at some point, or maybe he hasn't done it yet, sorry. But he canceled out of it, which I thought was very interesting. So this demonstrates that he can use neutral special to edge guard. And that might even be built in. Because, like, look how far into the stage he is when he does it. We'll go all the way back. So, like, he initiates back throw, right? He initiates and then is moving backwards for some reason. So he's almost all the way into the center of the stage when he lets that go. Now, that's not great because, you know, you want to be, like, right about here when you use it for maximum edge guarding ability, especially against Amiibo opponents. But they don't know that. And jab, jab, power dunk. There you go. There you go. Okay, so that demonstrates right there. He uses up special, and then he starts to charge it for some reason. I don't know why. I have a hunch, okay? I don't know quite how to put it into words yet. But I have a hunch that he might be using up special. If you teach him to, he might be using up special as an attack randomly. Just like, and not like completely randomly, but like without any seeming cause to do it. Because Terry's all the way up here. And then he starts charging it, right? And it completely misses. But this does demonstrate he can use it as an attack on stage. There's a lot of ways that Nintendo could screw up something like this Amiibo. And Nintendo has demonstrated that they can screw things up before, which they've done a really good job of. So I'm incredibly curious to see how that attack ends up shaping up. There you go again. Goes for the back throw, goes for the edge guard, and it finally kills. That's 2 times now where he's done exactly the same thing. Back throw, full jump while moving backwards. Not quite in exactly the same spot, but pretty close. And then releases it a lot closer to ledge. I have a hunch that might be built in. There you go. Okay, so now, finally, now he's realizing that he can charge it all the way and hit Terry with it. It's not clear to me what the charging variable is and like how it's going to decide just based on this footage, how it's going to decide how much do I charge it or not. But just this version of the Sephiroth Amiibo, this trained one, because again, training is a big factor in this, indicates that it really likes uncharged ones. This is the first fully charged one we've seen. And then there's more up air juggling. Haven't seen a lot of that, probably because of training. Okay, so watch this. Wait, is this going to happen yet or what? That's right, here we go. So he knows that he has his wing. The Amiibo actually knows that, because if I'm counting this correctly, right, there's 1 midair jump, 2 midair jumps. So the Amiibo knows that it has that third jump now. That is probably built in. We're not going to have to worry about that screwing with the Amiibo or changing the AI. Ta-da! That's Sephiroth. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, seriously, go subscribe. We do footage like this occasionally. We actually have pre-release bin files of Terry, Banjo, and Byleth as well. I'm planning on doing a tournament of those pretty soon. So if you're not subscribed yet, dude, come on. Thank you for watching, folks.